Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality. While listening, you'll be exposed to inspiring, empowering, and unifying perspectives that I'm highly confident will yield stellar results in your life if you opt to try them on for size. Also, at optimistic.tv, we have officially begun releasing the first few episodes of our new late-night style, consciousness-elevating video variety talk show, Optimistic, which features live visionary art, soul share interviews, retreat guests here at the Mystic Manor, as well as live musical performances. I'm also super excited to announce that we are currently making plans to release the rest of Season 1 on my personal favorite online streaming service. So stay tuned to optimistic.tv to follow the unfolding development of this exciting Optimistic expansion, as we'll be posting more info and release dates there soon. And in the meantime, be sure to check out, of course, the first few episodes at optimistic.tv as well.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I thought we would talk about the obstacles in our healing journey, because I see this come up very often in my work and also in my personal life, with my family, with my friends, and also, I'm sure, with many of you. And so I thought this would be a wonderful thing to address, because our healing right now is so important. Now is the time to focus on our healing so we can evolve. It is the time in our planetary alignment where this planet is evolving, whether we go with it or not, is our choice. And healing is also our choice. And that is a very, very beautiful thing when we can really grasp that everything is within our choosing. And so many of us try so many different either techniques or methods or plant medicines or whatever it may be to help us get to this place of awareness and understanding what exactly are my obstacles to healing. And these tools and techniques can be absolutely wonderful. At the same time, while some of them can be absolute magic, it doesn't mean that they work on their own. You have to participate. That's really, really important. Your participation, your understanding, your trust, your belief in what you have learned, and then integrating that into your reality now becomes your personal responsibility, because now you know better. And once you know better, you are now expected to behave better. And so healing, really, number one, if we could remember that it is no one's responsibility but our own. It doesn't come from the technique or from the tool. It comes from you and your understanding that you gained through using that technique or tool. But what happens is, oftentimes we use this tool, we gain an understanding, we gain an awareness, we have these light bulb moments, we have these amazing experiences, and we get it. Everything becomes clear, so clear. And then we go back to our regular lives, we go back to our old programming, and we don't listen to what we learned, right? We're not listening to the guidance that we've been given from our higher self. We go back to listening to that conscious mind part, that human part, that part that I like to refer to as the devil on our shoulder. We have two different wolves. Everybody has two different wolves, and we get to decide which one we feed the devil or the angel. That angel is always, always there. It's just that it's whispering. It's not as loud as the devil. The devil is screaming and quite narcissistic and controlling and manipulative and all of those things that you would think a devil would be like. Someone always putting you down, wanting you to stay in that dark place. But then there's that angel that's always there whispering, that's not true. You're amazing. You are such a powerful being. You are so powerful. You are so amazing. But it's a whisper, and we don't like to believe it. We like to instead believe this part that's putting us down, this part that wants to keep us in the muck and in the mire. And this is what keeps us from healing. When we are not actually listening to the guidance that we get from our higher self, it is always, always there. You know it's always there. It's just that we allow the conscious mind to come in and negate it. And we also don't trust in what we're hearing sometimes. Sometimes we get it, and then, a week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, and we start to maybe doubt or disbelieve or start telling ourselves all the reasons why, that doesn't make any sense, right? But what we're doing there is not trusting in ourselves and in our higher being, in the knowingness of our higher being that is us, that is always with us and is a part of us. We are listening to the devil, right? And so if we can retain that belief that we get in those moments where we use those tools, those techniques, even in meditation, if we can retain that belief and continue to listen to the guidance from our higher self, not negate it, always trust it, then we go on the road to healing. But if we do the opposite, then with this personal responsibility that comes in there, because we have to behave better. Now, sometimes when we don't, it's even harder the next time because you have to get it. We have to get the lesson. That's the important part. You're only going through it because there's something to learn, right? There's always something to learn and something to gain and something to grow from. And also remember that healing happens on so many different levels. It happens on a mental level, it happens on a spiritual level, and on a physical level, on an emotional level. There are so many different ways that healing happens, and oftentimes, very often, it happens in stages. It happens in stages because you get whatever you can handle, whatever you're ready for, whatever you are mentally capable of taking in. Right? Because if you weren't able to understand it, then what's the point of giving it to you? Right? There has to be the right time, the appropriate time when, now I get it. Right? And what I love, Dolores Cannon, she's my favorite teacher of all time. She used to say, you're not supposed to ever be sick. The body is a miraculous machine, and it's been created to take care of itself if we don't interfere. You make yourself sick. If the mind is powerful enough to make yourself sick, it is also powerful enough to heal you. First, we got to find out why. Why are you doing this to yourself? What are you trying to tell yourself? Every disease is the body talking to you. When you are not trusting in yourself, believing in yourself, listening to yourself, your higher self, this is when disease processes begin. Because you have to listen to the body. It forces you to listen. And so it's like last resort. And so if you have this understanding that, I am so powerful. I am so powerful that I'm doing this to myself. I'm also this powerful that I can stop doing this to myself. I can undo it. Dolores also said that we are great and powerful creators. We just forgot. That's all. We just forgot. It's a remembrance, remembering that we are source creator. So with that, I think I'm going to play a clip of another one of my favorite teachers, Carolyn Mace. And this is a talk that she did, I don't know, I think it was sometime in the 90s, and I'm going to go with like maybe early or mid, but it could be late. I have no idea. It's called Why People Don't Heal. And this is just a very short clip of the end of the talk, but the full talk you can find somewhere online, I'm sure. It's a fairly long talk, but this is just a small snippet at the end. Take a listen.
Healing is irrational. It's in fact one of the most irrational things you're ever going to undertake in your life. You think healing is going to be logical, but it's not. There is nothing logical or orderly about healing. Why? Because healing requires forgiveness. I think the most important point I can give you to go away with is the 5 steps to healing, because you need to know what to do. Now that I told you where you lose your spirit, what are you going to do about it? First thing you want to know is you have to force yourself to forgive. You are never, ever going to want to do it. So no, it's true. So what you need to realize is at some point it's got to occur to you that this is hurting you a lot more than it is them. And that's all there's to it. You will never really want to do it until after you've done it. And that's the funny part about it. You'll never know how precious and how good that feels until after you've done it. That's the first thing. The second thing is you have to redefine healing for yourself. Instead of thinking that healing is perfection, think of healing as a day-to-day life journey. It is not reaching a goal where your body is perfect and your mind is perfect and your childhood is perfect and your tomorrow is perfect. Get out of healing as perfection model, because that's not going to do you any good, and it won't work, and you'll never get there. So instead, think of healing as an everyday task that you have to live with, and redefine it as not perfection, but your capacity to walk every day through the challenges that are in your life. And sometimes if the challenges are an ill body or a depressed system, a depressed mental or emotional state, nevertheless, use it as a way to say, I've got to heal today, I'm healing, I'm always healing. And look at it as a continuation. Another thing is stop asking for the reasons why things happen as they do. Give that up. I mean, so many people get to that point and they say, I will not at all move forward with this situation in my life until I know why things happen as they do. And you lock your heels in and you clench your jaw, and nothing ever moves forward for you at all in your life. And I'm telling you something, that's a dangerous position to be in. It's very dangerous because your spirit does not move on, and neither does your life. And you never get anything back, and you never do anything else. Chart a course for the future. Chart a course. Make sure, which is the next step in healing, is to chart that course and make sure it is far away from the wound you're using. Okay? See yourself, create another life path for yourself. Imagine yourself in another direction, and literally force yourself to do that, okay? And the last step, which is the same thing I witnessed with Chet LaHaye, which is to sit around and have people witness your wound 3 times. And that's it. Don't go overboard, don't use anything else. It's 3 times and you're done. And literally watch what happens after that. Don't let yourself slip into passages in which you find yourself needing more and more support. Now remember, certain things will take support, like, for example, the death of a child. This is a different category. Right? This is going to take a longer time. But at that other level of your life, when you have to have people support you for different types of challenges in your life, limit yourself. Limit yourself for your own sense of strength, and say, you know what, I'm going to call people together for 3 times, and I'm going to listen to how much I hurt. And after that, don't expect that you won't hurt, but at least tell yourself, now I've been heard. Now I've been heard. Now I've been witnessed. Now I have to get on with my healing. This is a very powerful way to move your spirit out. Another thing you've got to understand is managing your personal energy system is also a very organized model. You want to stay in present time. You want to watch where your energy is. Learn to chart your energy of your body, not just what you want to do with your life. Learn to pay attention to when you're losing your energy to a wound or to yesterday. You can feel it. You can feel it in your biological system. You can feel it when you find yourself getting depressed and you say to yourself, why am I depressed? Look to your history. Because you might find it goes that way. Look to a relationship. Look to some form that's causing you to lose your power because it reminds you of yesterday. Listen to yourself. Listen to the vocabulary you use when you're speaking with other people. Watch how you interact with them. And when somebody says, how are you? Listen to yourself. Do you come out negative first or positive? Do you come out with a sense of wanting to engage them in, oh, you poor thing type of dynamic? Or do you come out with this sort of sense of, I'm really okay. I can note, you can have something sad going on in your life and still be okay. All right? You can have something traumatic going on in your life and still be okay. We have more than one reality system available to us, and we have to start thinking about that. And here's the last part. Celebrate your life. Celebrate your life. Instead of spending a lot of time, and people spend a lot of time, regretting what their life looked like, regretting how they're living, looking at what should have been, could have been, or would have been. Begin to take a look at your life from the perspective that this is exactly the way it should have been. I am living the most wonderful life, and if it's not wonderful today, it might be tomorrow. In fact, it will be tomorrow, because all things move in a cycle. And above all, never ever think that anybody on this planet has authority over your future, because that's not in anybody's hands but yours. And the biggest thing in our hands is, what quality do we want our future? What quality do I want our lives? And I know, and I deeply believe, and I leave you with this thought, that one of the greatest ways to ensure a quality tomorrow is by leaving a sad yesterday far behind.
So I really like this clip today because it echoed a lot of the things that Samantha and I were talking about on Tuesday. And what she ended with there in the clip is one of the greatest ways to ensure a quality tomorrow is by leaving a sad yesterday far behind. By leaving the past behind. The past is the past. There is nothing we can do about the past. Our present moment is what matters. And that is what ensures a quality tomorrow. So she talked about those 5 steps to healing. And that very, very first step is forgiveness. Of course it is, right? How can we move on and leave the past behind us if we don't forgive? In forgiveness lies the stoppage of the wheel of karma, right? So if we want the karma to not be there anymore, if we don't want to relive the same old lessons over and over and over again, then forgiveness is key. And like she said, it's not easy. You're not going to want to. And at some point, you're going to have to realize that it hurts you more than it hurts them. There's no point in you carrying it. You're the one that's suffering, not them. So let it go. And forgive. You have to even force yourself. Like she said, force yourself. Because you'll never know how good it feels until you do it. And you just gotta force it sometimes. You gotta use that power of your will to make yourself forgive. To say it every single day until you believe it. because at some point you will understand and you will be able to do it, but you have to make yourself at first even try. And there is no try. It is only do, right? So you just do it. Even though it's hard, you do it because you're the one that benefits. You always heal when you forgive. And in that act of forgiveness, you are letting go of the past. And that's beautiful. The second step was you have to redefine what healing is, because we do often think that healing is a place that we get to and then everything is perfect. And there is no perfect. This is a journey. It's an everyday task. We will always be on this journey. There's always going to be challenges. And if we have the capacity to walk through those challenges and say, I'm okay, I'm healing today, I'm always healing, and looking at it, like she said, as a continuation of your learning journey, a continuation of the evolvement of your wisdom, right? And then 3, stop asking for the reasons to why things happen as they do. And I know why she said it like this, because back in the 90s, that made more sense, right? Stop trying to figure out all the, why did this happen to me, right? It's more about, why did this happen to me? And we all know that nothing is happening to us, but for us. And really, also, we do understand that having this understanding of why this is happening for me as opposed to me is really a game changer, right? So that's also what leads into step 4, which is that allows you to chart a course for your future. Okay, great. This is happening for me. So how can I use this to grow? What do I want my future to look like that is not centered around this hurt or this wound? And you can create an entirely different life path for yourself in a different direction. If, again, you use the power of your will to do that. And this 5th step that I think is super, super important, but to have people witness your wound 3 times. And then that's it. You got to let it go after that. Because if you don't let it go, you allow yourself to just slip into these times when you just need more and more and more support. And like she said, of course, there are certain times where there are things that are more traumatic, where those things will take more time and you will need more support. And that's okay. But these day-to-day things, right? If you let them pile up on the old wounds, then you will continue to need support for all of the little things. But you don't need that. You have your own strength. When you have been heard, you have been witnessed. And that is such an important piece with now being able to move forward along your journey and move forward in your healing path. To really allow your spirit to soar. Like she said, it's a powerful way to move your spirit. Your spirit just wants to be free and fly. Doesn't want to be bogged down with the past. It wants to be at peace in the present moment. And I think these are beautiful ways to be able to get to that place. And be easy on yourself. This takes practice and it takes some time a little bit. You know, healing can happen instantaneously, and it does. It's like a light bulb moment when the understanding happens. But that healing won't stick around if we're not fulfilling our end of the bargain, right? And so I love how she went into managing our personal energy system, because Samantha and I, again, we talked a little bit about this on Tuesday's episode, but just watching where your energy is, listening to where it is in your body, paying attention to where it is in your body, being able to recognize that. And then you'll be able to understand and feel where it is that you're losing your energy, whether it's to a wound or to yesterday. You can definitely feel it in your system. And so when you're able to stay in the present moment, you won't be losing energy to old wounds, to the past. You can watch where your energy is. I love that she said, learn to make a chart of the energy in your body, not just to make a chart of what you want to do with your life. How many of us chart our goals and make a calendar and a schedule and all these things, but how many of us are actually charting the energy of our body? How does my body feel today? How does my energy system feel today? Where are my chakras in terms of how balanced they are today? And the more you check in with them and pay attention, the more you will feel it, and the more you will either see it or sense it or understand it. You'll understand it at the end of the day. So another good point she made there was listen to yourself and the vocabulary that you use when you speak with others, and watch how you interact with people. The point that she made there, when someone says, how are you? That really hit me, because I used to work with this lovely girl, and she was very like kind of the Eeyore archetype, you know, from Winnie the Pooh, like very ho-hum, very, very sweet and very, very loving, but very just ho-hum. And every time somebody asked her how she was, her response was, oh, not too shabby, you know? And I always just felt so, oh, honey, I just wanted to lift her up every day, you know? But in that way, watch how you're engaging with people. Are you engaging them in a more of a poor me dynamic? That's what that Eeyore archetype does. It really engages people and like, oh, I'm really not okay. Do you want to talk about it? Right? But if you are coming out with, I'm okay, I really am okay, you know, because like she said, you can have something sad or even traumatic going on in your life, and you can still be okay. Because especially when you're having just these small little interactions with people throughout the day, practicing, yeah, I'm okay, I'm great, how are you? Even if it's not true, just saying it will resonate within your body. It'll make your body feel better to just say it. It's okay if you don't believe it. It comes into that place of like using your will and forcing yourself to feel better sometimes, when you have to tell yourself a different story, when the programming has just been running in a way that is not suiting you, you have to make it tell yourself something different. And so it may seem really hard at first, and that it may seem that you're forcing yourself, but that's okay. You're doing yourself a favor by telling yourself that you're okay, because you are. You will always, always be okay. She reminded us that we have more than one reality system available to us. That's a great thing to remember. Another thing to be very, very mindful of is celebrating our life, right? Having the gratitude for all the things in our life. There are plenty of things that we could have gratitude for in our lives. The tiniest little things. Find them, appreciate them, celebrate the amazingness of your life. Don't spend the time regretting and looking at what could have or should have been, right? Take a look at your life and know that you are exactly where you are supposed to be now, and the way that your life played out is exactly the way it should have been. And that your life is the most wonderful life of all. Tell yourself that every day. I am living the most wonderful life of all. And even if it doesn't feel like that today, it will tomorrow. Everything is cyclical. It all moves in a cycle. It will be wonderful tomorrow. And above all, remember, like she said, that nobody but you has any control over your future. It's not in anyone else's hands but your own. This is your choice. Like I said at the very beginning, all of this is our choice. We get to decide which wolf we want to listen to. Are we listening to the devil wolf? Or are we listening to the angel wolf? That beautiful, soft, whispering angel voice that is telling us how amazing we are, how powerful we are, how loved we are, how we have the immense strength and courage to go through anything. Because we are who we are. And that's why we're going through it, because we can, because we have the strength, because we are great and powerful beings. And we are not forgetting. We are remembering that. We are remembering how great and powerful we really are. I think that's it for me today, everyone. This is way longer than I normally do, but I think that there's just a lot more that we could talk about with this topic. And so I feel like I had a lot to say, and so I said it, and I know that there's more. So we will revisit this whenever is necessary, whenever it comes up again. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Erica at Positive Head, if you don't already know my email. And I'm going to leave you with a song for today. This is Great Spirit by Nako and Medicine for the People. Until next time, love you all.
Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you about the game with the universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time. And if you go to positivehead.com/universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and greatest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to spark the curiosity of friends and family by having them choose a number, so they'll hopefully go and check out their number as well, which I greatly appreciate because it helps us to spread the word about the podcast. Once again, the address is positivehead.com/universe. And as a quick reminder, if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them almost every day, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I cannot stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so. I have my favorite, the appleberry shake, at least 5 times a week. Once again, to learn more about the Purium transformation, go to positivehead.com/transformation. Or if you want to keep it simple and just try out my favorite, the appleberry shake, you can go straight over to ishoppurium.com and be sure to use code positivehead for 25% off. I'll spell that for you. It's ishoppurium.com. And be sure to use your Positive Head 25% coupon code.
So which wolf will you feed? One makes you strong, one makes you weak. And those who know and those who seek. Amidst the chaos, find your peace. I know it's your wolf I'll feed. I know it's your wolf I'll feed. Way of weaving through the damage. Mindful, stay mindful. Great Spirit for my sisters, let me be a flowing river. Flood the banks, the rocks that bind her. Carry, I'll carry. Great Spirit. Oh, I'll great Spirit. Great Spirit for my brothers, let me be a mountain under which he climbs to discover his process. Now that's progress. Great Spirit, all that hinders, tie reminders to my fingers. I must speak with you more often. Great Spirit for my relations, give them strength to face racism in every single situation. Easy now, wanna speak loud. Great Spirit, take me instead, guide me down the road of red and Kashala. I am saved, praying. Oh, then Kashala, yeah. Then Kashala, yeah. Then Kashala, yeah. Then Kashala, oh, yeah. Great Spirit system collapse, nothing but the earth will last, and I'll be singing sweetly into the darkness. But I'll hide this Great Spirit on my tongue. Be still, be still. The time will come when everyone will sing. All life is sacred. But while I'm waiting, Great Spirit, my fist is up, bringing the power to the people. Your reflection of us. Some of your people can't hear it, the cries of the earth. Some of your people can't feel it, the way that it hurts, and it hurts. Great Spirit, oh, and it moves. Great Spirit, interconnected in the wreckage of a paradigm on its way out. Its way out. Speaking of spiritual, lyrical testimonies, a spirited lyricist, weaving around false prophecies. Spirit directed and selective with the message I bring. While the ship slowly sinks, I've been directed to sing. I'm like a wrecking ball, breaking down the walls of the past. I'm in a bliss, living a bliss with the last of my cash. You're gonna be justified with how you treated the land.